Hi, this is Jonathan. I just wanted to do a very brief video today on some of the source material that I have used in the past for researching flat earth topics. I am a relatively new flat earther. I first became, I kind of, knew that there were people out there who believed this. And I knew that going back years. It was never something I really investigated in detail until really just a few months ago. I came across some things that I couldn't explain away, and so I ended up, that first week that I encountered this stuff, spending more than 50 hours looking into it, and easily hundreds of hours since then trying to answer all the questions that I could come up with on the topic. I am a very inquisitive person, and so I literally just wrote down question after question after seeing some of the holes in the heliocentric model, and seeing several presentations of a flat Earth model. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know how everything worked in relation to this. And in the course of those investigations and in looking into the scriptures, as I described in my first video about a biblical cosmology, I came to the conclusion ultimately that we do live on a flat earth realm. But I kind of wanted to leave a breadcrumb trail in just a short little overview video, showing some places where you can find information on this for yourself if you're interested in the topic. So this video will discuss primarily online resources, especially videos, and then I'll do another video about some books. The online stuff obviously is a little more modern, done by people really in the last decade or so, as there's been a resurgence in the flat earth and people are starting to explore and experiment with these things for themselves and record their observations and findings. And then the book materials that I'll talk about in another video, many of them are actually quite old, going back to the period from about 1850 to the early 1900s. There really was, there were people then who believed the earth was flat, and a lot of these books outline the experiments and observations that they went through to demonstrate this, and many of them were Bible-believing Christians because, as I mentioned in that first video, the Bible is a flat earth book from beginning to end. I think you'll find, if you like to read, I think you'll find some of those books very interesting in my one of the next videos that I'll be doing. But the first website I'd like to discuss is this one, the Flat Earth Podcast, and you can just go to theflatearthpodcast.com. A guy named David Weiss is behind this, and he's the same guy who is behind this YouTube channel, DITRH, which stands for Deep in the Rabbit Hole. And what this guy does is, and he's very, very good at it, he's done many interviews, he's done his own experiments on flat earth phenomena, perspective, any number of things. But he is really good at just seeing what other people are putting together and exploring and experimenting with in terms of flat earth topics, and then compiling them into one hub, so to speak, that you can use as a reference. And he is very critical. He only chooses the best serious flat earthers, and he avoids stuff like the Flat Earth Society, which unfortunately is really controlled opposition and teaches a lot of ridiculous, outlandish things to discredit the whole concept of flat earth, as I discussed in my first video. But Dave also is the guy behind this app, the let's see here, it is the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, and it is by Blue Water Bay, and this is just an excellent working model of the Flat Earth as we understand it. He has just a lot of great tools and resources and overlays and stuff in the app. And then there's also a system here that pulls the best Flat Earth videos from YouTube that if you just go to YouTube and do a search, their search algorithms won't show you, because there is an effort to discredit Flat Earth stuff, and you can even just see that in the disclaimers that get put on every single Flat Earth video that pops up on YouTube. So far I've come across 2 topics that YouTube chooses to censor: anything related to Illuminati, the idea that there are these generational families of elites who rule over us. Those topics get censored, or well, censored sometimes. The videos do get outright removed if they have stuff that is, you know, too eye-opening. And then Flat Earth, and those videos that aren't outright taken down will have those disclaimer tags on them by YouTube to kind of try to warn people away, I guess, or gatekeep, or whatever you want to call it. But I'd like to just kind of go through the Flat Earth Podcast website, and I'd particularly like to show you this must-see videos section. Dave has done a really fantastic job of laying stuff out topically. So if you're a Christian, a Bible-believing Christian like me, he's got a biblical Flat Earth section. And this video is absolutely fascinating. It shows that the government knows that we live on a flat Earth realm, and their flight models prove that. There are, somewhere in here there was a Flat Earth sermon. I guess it wasn't in this particular section. But this is all laid out topically, and there are dozens, if not hundreds, of videos in here. Curvature. And this is a compilation, so you have stuff from a variety of sources. One thing that you have to keep in mind is that the Flat Earth community is really trying to just rebuild an understanding of our Earth realm in spite of modern scientism and its dogma. So this is stuff that requires a lot of boots on the ground experimentation, and you really just have to kind of evaluate each flat earther and their claims about a particular topic. You have to use your critical thinking, and you have to understand that they're going to have some good thoughts about some stuff, and they're going to have some ideas that are a bit questionable. I'm not endorsing 100% anyone that I talk about in this video. I'm just saying that these are good things to explore if you're interested in the subject, and then you have to kind of you know, take the good stuff and separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. And then so there's a compilation of these must-see videos here on his channel, DITRH, Deep in the Rabbit Hole. Dave has many more playlists and videos of Flat Earth related snippets and so forth. So just between his YouTube channel and his website, there are plenty of resources to get you started. And we've got all kinds of stuff like how the tides work, how eclipses work. Eclipses are fascinating, and so is the moon, because these are things that you've probably never really thought about, but there are phenomena that outright prove that the heliocentric model is deeply flawed. I've mentioned these in some of my other videos very briefly, like a selenelian, which is a daytime lunar eclipse where the sun and the moon are both above the horizon at the same time during the day. So if that is indeed a shadow you're seeing on the moon during the eclipse, what's casting the shadow? It's not the Earth. The Earth is not between the sun and the moon during a selenelian. But these videos just have a ton of different topics: how seasons work, how flat earthers think the sun moon and stars work and move over the surface of the earth, tides, the concept that the moon is a light, as the scriptures say, it is not a reflector, how magnetic navigation works, night and day, why there are areas of our earth realm that have extended periods of day and extended periods of night, for example, in some of the Arctic regions. There's just a lot of good stuff here. Topics of Antarctica, which is one of my particular favorite areas of discussion as related to this stuff. Videos that clearly demonstrate that NASA and the other space agencies are faking what they present to us and outright lying about space and its nature. Himawari 8. How eclipses show that the heliocentric model cannot work. So much good stuff here. I think, and I mean, you know, like I said, you got to take the good and leave the bad, because none of these flat earthers are perfect. None of them has the whole, you know, absolute truth or anything like that. We're all human. We're all just kind of working through and trying to learn as much as we can and figure out the reality of things. But this website is going to be a great place to start. And I'd like to mention just a few YouTube channels that I really enjoy. So Paul on the Plane, this fellow is a Christian, and from what I've seen, his stuff is pretty much family friendly. So he does have a lot of flat earth topics on his channel, and then he does have some more spiritual topics as well, kind of a mix of things. But I really like some of the things that he's put out. It just shows that he's thinking through things, and a lot of good stuff on his channel. I believe ODD TV is also a Christian. He comes from a little bit of a rougher background than I do, and it shows a little bit in some of his videos. There's some strong language and stuff here. So just be aware of that. And he does also go into symbolism and things like that in media and movies. So obviously he's exploring some stuff that, you know, some audiences may find objectionable, but this guy is clearly paying attention to what's going on in the world around us, and he has a lot of good information. Definitely worth a look. Taboo Conspiracy 3 is another flat earther who has put out a lot of great information, and he has been suppressed for it on numerous occasions. That's why we're up to Taboo Conspiracy 3, because YouTube in past years has intentionally shut down his other accounts and just wiped everything that he's done before. So you're honestly not going to find much of Taboo's stuff here on YouTube. I think you may want to look on BitShoot and other places to dig around and find stuff that other people have re-uploaded of his. But this is a good starting place to maybe see some of his content. And actually, there's more on here than I remember, so... yeah, it seems like he's pretty active in terms of putting up stuff. So he's still alive and kicking. Good to see that. Jeranism's another flat earther. This guy has done a lot of curvature videos and other topics. Some of his better videos are linked on the Flat Earth podcast. This really, as I said, is probably your best starting point. But then as you start watching some of these must-see videos and stuff, you'll start getting a feel for who some of the real heavy hitters, so to speak, are in the flat earth community who have produced real quality material and who are really thinking things through. Here's kind of an honorable mention, and I'm mentioning this simply because a lot of people don't know that it's out there, and it's on a platform that's maybe not tremendously mainstream. I don't know. So this is a little documentary called Shoot the Moon, and it is a paid documentary. It's by a guy named Jason Lindgren, who has done a lot of really good stuff. Drawing a blank right now, but anyway, it's about this amateur astronomer who he and his wife just spent over a pretty long period of time, years I believe. They spent something like 8 hours a day filming the heavens, especially the moon, in high definition. And this documentary is a result of that. And he was the first person to record a phenomenon known as the lunar wave in, I believe, 2012. Let me just read this little blurb here for you. Shoot the Moon is a documentary film about the telescope work of the man known as Crow, or Crow 777. It includes the first filming of the phenomenon that would come to be called the lunar wave that was first captured in the fall of 2012. The releasing of this footage catapulted Crow 777 to becoming known all over the world, first for the lunar wave and then the numerous other amazing pieces of objects and astronomical footage that he caught during his 4 years of continuous filming through his telescopes. This film includes 7 different lunar waves, a ton of objects in the sky both during the day and the night, many of which are seen transiting the moon. No other film contains so many objects and anomalies that have been shot with high-end optics and telescopes, and is presented with interview segments discussing the work. The accompanying original score makes this documentary film a one-of-a-kind adventure. This is definitely well worth a watch. And let me say that I'm not associated with any of these people that I've just highlighted in any way. I don't profit from any products, or like I said, this one is it is a paid rental only, which is unfortunate because it makes it a little less accessible to people. But you know, I understand that these people want to be paid for their work. But that being said, I just want to point out I'm not making money, you know, when you go and buy Dave's app. I'm not making money when you rent and watch, you know, Shoot the Moon. I'm not endorsed. I have no financial stake or association with any of these people. They are just people whose work is good quality, and which I appreciate and, you know, have found useful in my own explorations of things. And let me say also that in the event that you start seeing one of your favorite YouTubers being suppressed, being censored, having their material removed, BitShoot is a good place to go and look and see if someone has mirrored any of their work over here. And I actually do have a BitShoot account under just my name, Jay States, and I'm basically putting up copies of all my videos here just in case YouTube down the road does decide to start removing stuff, because I'm building towards something, and actually you can kind of see glimpses of it already in some of the things that I've got over on BitShoot. I'm not a flat earth apologist. I'm a Bible-believing Christian, and my duty as a Christian is to tell people the gospel of Jesus Christ and the nature of this evil world in which we live. So, given enough time, that's what we're building towards. And I don't currently have this video uploaded yet. It does not relate to Flat Earth directly, but I do have it on BitShoot, so go over and check it out there. And I do intend to put this up on YouTube very soon. It's not actually my work, and it's quite long, but it is. I can't recommend this video highly enough. It's by a guy named Altion Childs, who was a member of a secret society and became a Christian, and did this very long, very detailed expose of the secret one-eyed religion, who they are, what they believe, what they're doing, and what they intend for us, the vulgar masses, as they call us and think of us. So BitShoot is a good outlet for stuff that is being suppressed elsewhere. Obviously, as with YouTube, it's a very mixed bag, and you got to go into this with your eyes wide open, take everything with a grain or 2 or 3 of salt. But if my stuff ever starts getting suppressed, it will be over here. Most of it already is. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope that this little breadcrumb trail helps you out and puts you on the path if you're interested in these flat earth topics. Thanks again for watching, and have a good rest of your week.